Hi there, everybody. Ginny Massie here. And today I want to bring up a subject that really can happen to many of us Pilates teachers, the chatty clients. The clients who come to class and talk throughout the beginning of class and talk throughout the middle of class and talk with their friends and then talk with you. And clients who get really chatty, there's a lot of different reasons why this might happen. And depending on where you're at in your teaching career, it might be really easy for you to manage clients like this, or it might be a challenge for you to manage clients like this. So today I'm not going to dive into why they might come in super chatty. That may be a topic for another day. But really what I want to focus on is to share with you what to do when those situations arise. When you have a client who talks too much during class and it's more than what would be acceptable. There's a lot of different reasons to not let clients overly talk during class. One is if it's a group class, it may be distracting for other students. But then the other side of that is chatty clients might not be getting the type of work that they really need for their own body because they're talking too much and probably not able to connect to their deeper musculature the way that they probably should if they were not talking, right? So some easy ways to get really chatty clients to focus a lot quicker in class is there's a couple of different techniques, and I'm going to share two of them with you today. The first one is to not start class in a face up position, but to start class in a face down position. And that's helpful for the students who come in who are really chatty right at the start of class and want to talk. And the reason for starting them in a face down position is because typically when clients are face up, they can see everything. So they can see you, they can see the ceiling, they can see their comrades on either side of them if this is a group class setting, and they can turn their head and they have lots of access visually to what's around them, which makes it feel inviting for them to just have conversation. However, when clients are in a face down position, whether it's all fours or in a prone position, the world kind of closes off visually. All they can see is what's in front of them. Now, in an all fours or prone position, they can still turn their head from side to side, but they're less likely to do so. So starting off in an all fours or prone position, whether it's a group class or a private setting, is a great way to start to narrow down their conversation and get them to start focusing in on themselves. So that is tip number one. And by the way, that doesn't have to just be for the start of class. So if your clients start chatting in the middle of class and they start to get too chatty, whether with each other or if they're too chatty with you in a one-on-one setting, just give them an exercise where they're now in an all fours or a prone position and get them to focus a little bit differently. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is to just completely stop teaching. Now, this is best in a one-on-one setting. So clients who are really chatty in a one-on-one setting, if you just stop giving them exercises, they're going to finish their conversation and say, okay, what's next? And that's your opportunity to jump in and say, well, why don't you finish your story and then I'll give you the next exercise because I really want you to be able to focus on your movement. And that's not being rude. That's just you acknowledging that what they need is to focus on their movement rather than their conversation. And then they'll either finish their conversation or they'll cut themselves off and say, oh, okay, well, I'm ready to move on. And then they won't finish their story and they'll get right into movement. So that can happen. In a group class setting, that doesn't work so well because it's kind of punishment for the whole class. So I don't recommend that in a group class setting, more so one-on-one or maybe even a duet situation, especially if the duet partners know each other. Then the other person would probably be really thankful for them to stop being so chatty, possibly. And now tip number three, when you have really chatty clients, if neither of those things work, that's when I then resort to tip number three, and that is to give the clients a really hardcore, challenging exercise where they can't talk whatsoever. So, depending on your client's physical ability, that exercise may look totally different. But oftentimes it's full body exercises, ones that require a lot of either coordination or full body connection in order to do properly without injury. And one of the most simple ones would be a plank exercise. So, clients of any ability, if you put them in a plank exercise, whether it's front plank, side plank, back plank they might still be chatty in a back plank. So, I'm going to say front or side plank would be the best. That's going to make them connect so many muscles in their body and really work from a really deep place in order to feel the safest and most secure in their body, where they're not really able to continue on and have conversation. If they still do in something as simple as a plank, that's when you start adding in exercises with a lot of choreography, a lot of thinking with which arm to move, which leg to move, and putting together these pieces of choreography where they have to think about the movement and not able to think about their conversation.
Thank you for tuning in today. Make sure to like and subscribe if today's video was helpful. And if you'd like to learn even more ways to level up your cueing, programming, and client connection skills, check out my online program for Pilates instructors, Class Design Superstar, with the link below. See you next time.